Hey guys, it's episode 3 of Self Growth Diaries, and today's topic is all about self-love and self-care. I had to work on this myself from the past couple of days. I've been working on self-love and caring for myself and giving compassion to myself when I'm having a hard time. And now I'm going to teach you to do the same. There are going to be 4 sub-entries today, which is what is the difference between self-care and self-love, self-care, self-love, and how to actually apply what you learned in real life. So let's get started. So the first entry we have today is what is the difference between self-care and self-love. I'm even confused about this sometimes. I had to search it up before actually doing this podcast episode because I was kind of confused as well. So, self-care is what actions you do to maintain yourself and what habits you do for you to maintain a healthy lifestyle or your lifestyle, which could be exercising, dieting / eating healthy, drinking the adequate amount of water, studying, those things are self-care. Discipline is self-care. Self-love is when you appreciate and when you adore yourself, or when you're even obsessed with yourself in a deeper way, like you almost become your own boyfriend / girlfriend. You become your own muse. You become your own parent. You become your own best friend. And what self-love can look like is not being hard on yourself, but being easy on yourself when you're going through tough times. I mean, we've all gone through hard times before, and we can be our worst critic. And we can say, hey, well, you should have tried better on this, or why did you do that? That was so stupid. Self-love is when you go easy on yourself. Not easy, but when you give yourself that compassion and that empathy that you would give someone else if someone else was in your position, right? So you would almost treat yourself like a parent, a partner, or a friend, a best friend, I also think that self-love and self-care also go hand in hand, because if you mess up one of the two, or if your self-love is really bad, your self-love level is really bad, then your self-care level is not going to be high. It's one way or another, it's going to affect, or one is always going to affect the other. If your self-care is bad, if it's good, if it's okay, they're always going to affect each other. Now this entry was short, so let's skip right on to the second entry, which is self-care. As I said before, self-care is the actions you do to maintain a healthy lifestyle or your lifestyle. Obviously being exercise, studying, discipline, and I think self-care is really important, not just so it can benefit self-love, but also for your life, for your dream life, for where you want to be. And I think if you have a really bad self-care routine, that could actually lower your self-esteem, lower your self-love, and it can mold your life into something bad. So, how do we fix self-care? How do we make our self-care routine better? Well, I don't know. The process is different for everyone. For me, it was different. For you, it might be different. For your partner, it might be different. And it's going to be different for every single person. One thing I have to do for myself, for my self-care routine, might be an abomination to your self-care routine. You wouldn't do that. You would do something else, or you would do the complete opposite, and that's okay. So to improve your self-care routine, you would just need to find what you like to do and what you want to do. Because my self-care routine right now is working out 4 days a week, I recently started Pilates again because why not? Last time I tried it, I didn't really like it. So then I just said, oh, well, let's switch to strength now. So now I do strength training as well. And since I'm working out 4 days a week, I was like, you know what? Why not add Pilates back in? And this was my first week of trying it out, and it actually was not that bad. It was pretty fun. I already know exercise. You know, and I know exercise gives you endorphins, and maybe that's why I felt like it was fun. I don't know. It felt like it was fun. I've gotten to that point where if you exercise, it's fun. It's rewarding to you. It's fun. You want to keep doing it again. So that's part of my self-care routine. I always try to drink more water. Honestly, since I'm going to school, since I'm going to school, I mean, it's kind of hard sometimes to drink enough water because I usually forget, and we have work we need to do in those classes. And so as a student currently, it's kind of hard to remember to drink water because I get so caught up in the lectures, I get so caught up taking notes, I get so caught up in doing the work instead of kind of shifting some of that focus so it can benefit me currently. So that's why every single day I try to remind myself, hey, you should drink more water, or hey, drink water right now, do it now, do it now, do it now. And then I usually drink water, and then I usually feel better. I was actually drinking water right now. See, guys? Incorporate some of your habits in your self-care routine. Another thing I do, which I guess most people do, I'm just naming habits that I do that work for me, but also might work for other people, is I try to stay as healthy as possible. That seems wrong. I try to balance. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I balance my meals, my foods, something like that. Okay, I balance my palate. There you go, palate. I balance my palate. I usually try not to have desserts or foods with rich in saturated fat, trans fat, all of those fats. I try not to have any junk food in the week. And for me, it's kind of hard because I see everyone almost grabbing a bag of Takis, almost eating super unhealthy. And we even have a snack corner that sells ice cream, that sells chips. I think one thing I did to not tempt myself from it, which was not even on purpose, I switched to eating in a library to eating in a classroom where I can do my work and where I can eat at the same time, And that's one of the things you should do. If you're having a hard time keeping up a habit or keeping up a certain routine you want to keep up, make it easier for you. James Clear talked about it in his book Atomic Habits, to make your habit, your starting habit, as easy as possible. So you can redo it, because if it's easy, we want to do it, right? If it's hard, we kind of back off because we don't want to do something that's hard. We want something that's easy, simple, and fast. So that's what I did to prevent myself from eating ice cream or getting the craving to eat ice cream or to eat those junk foods. Now, obviously, I said balance before. Balance. So usually on the weekends, that's when I have desserts. That's when I have my junk food. That's when I have brownies. That's when I have, what else? I had a brownie, actually. That was really good. What else did I have? I had a cinnamon roll. That was really good. So those type of things that you can do really help you if you just subtly shift the bad things, but make them more balanced, make them suit your needs. And on occasions, I like to reward myself, obviously. You got to reward yourself for what you're doing, for the way you're walking right now, the way you're still alive, the way you woke up today, the way, I don't know, you called someone out in class today, or you called someone out at school, or you protected your energy. You should praise and congratulate yourself for things. And that's what I actually did in the week. I felt, hey, I had a pretty good day today. Like I set a boundary with someone, and I just felt really good. I did my whole routine, and I felt really good. So I was like, you know what? You deserve a treat. You deserve a treat. So then I got some frozen chocolate covered blueberries. Those were so good. So good. So good. Getting off that topic, and I think we've probably lost track already. But this is about self-care. Do the things that you want to do. Do the things that energize you. What would work for someone else might not work for you. Maybe studying at night might not work for you, but studying in the morning might, or splitting it up throughout the day. But just find what works for you, Whether that's exercising at night, whether that's exercising 5 times a week, whether that's only exercising 2 days a week, you're still taking care of yourself. You are still implementing those habits you want to implement in your daily life, the way it suits your needs, right? Because honestly, we have some busy schedules. We have some busy schedules. The people who are listening to this are probably moms, dads, even teenagers like me, or even adults randomly. They're gonna listen to this, and they have to find what's right for them, because everyone has different schedules. And so that kind of wraps up the self-care topic, to do the actions that you want to do but also benefit you in a way that will be short-term and long-term, including exercising, eating a certain way, sleeping, and all of the other factors. So again, the definition for self-care is doing the actions and doing these shifts that help you, that physically, mentally, and socially help you. The definition of self-care, in my own words, is almost like grooming yourself. Because you're doing actions that shape you, that shape your lifestyle, and that help you. It's those actions that are grooming yourself. Anyways, entry number 3, self-love. Now, the definition of self-love, in my own words, because I don't have Google pulled up right now, so I am just doing this on the fly. I don't have a definition, so I'm kind of just doing this out of pocket, So, self-love to me is when you adore, you cherish, you put yourself on a pedestal, you give compassion to yourself. It's almost like you're a partner, or you're a parent, or you're a partner to yourself. Now, honestly, I think there's 3 stages for self-love, which is physical, mental, and social. So physically, you can give love and you can show love to yourself by physically hugging yourself, from physically touching yourself, from physically kissing yourself. You can physically congratulate yourself. You can jump up and down because you finished a workout today and it was really hard. You can congratulate in physical ways of that. The second way I said was mentally. So mentally, you can show love to yourself when you're being a parent to yourself. If you're going through a tough time, or if you got injured, you can say, hey, are you okay? Do you need help? What do you need? Talk to me. Are you okay? And show those types of conversations in your head to yourself. Or you can even give affirmations to yourself saying, I love myself, I am amazing, I am smart, no one is like me, I am confident, I am intelligent. You can say that stuff inside your brain. And now the third pillar of self-love is social. Now this might be a weird one because I don't implement it that often because I don't have to. Some of you guys might have to implement these techniques in your daily life, right? So to socially give love to yourself is by saying no, which I actually did do a video on how to say no in my second episode of the Self-Worth Diaries. So if you want to check that out, you should check that out. So it does include saying no. It includes setting boundaries. It includes not being available all the time because your energy is valuable. You should know that your energy is valuable. It's currency. You have to know how to spend it the right way and spend it carefully. I also think some other ways to show self-love is by giving yourself gifts, by giving yourself the things that you want, by doing what you want to do instead of making yourself available to everybody, instead of not getting flowers when you want flowers, or even setting boundaries with people. Those actions are all for you. They're all for your inner self. Because as I said before, you're your own parent. And if you want, you can think about it like this. Your mind is your parent, but your body, how I'm speaking right now, is my child. So if someone says something mean to me, or if someone says something jokingly about me, then the parent in my mind comes out and says, hey, you don't do that. Don't do that ever again. Am I clear? Hey, don't call me that. Or hey, I'm not available, but thank you for inviting me. It's stuff like that. And that's actually a pretty smart way of thinking about it, that your mind is the parent, but how I'm talking right now in my physical body is my child. And some of you guys might already have children right now, so think of yourself as a child still. How would you treat your child if they got bullied, or if they didn't exercise all that much, or if they didn't drink that much water? You would say, hey, you should drink more water because it benefits blah da da da, Or hey, you should get exercise because it's not healthy laying in bed all day and doom scrolling because da 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 da. You would give reasons and you would back up your reasoning to why you should be doing something healthier. And I think being a parent to yourself is just so healing. It's so enriching. Sometimes I carry a conversation with myself at all times. Even when I'm editing a video, or when I'm going to be editing this video, I always talk to myself. I'm always like, well, hey, how's your day going? Oh, good, it's going good. Oh, that's good. What are you doing right now? Oh, I'm editing. Oh, that's nice. And then we keep going back and forth. It's a full-on conversation between your mind and yourself. And you got to keep that conversation flowing so you can express how you truly feel and what you want to do. And I think self-love and people-pleasing kind of go hand in hand. If you're a people pleaser and you always say yes to whatever and you always make yourself available, you're not caring for yourself first. right? Like, say if your own child was taking care of yourself or was taking care of you when you were sick, or when you needed help with dinner, or whenever you needed to clean the house, but you never see them do anything from themselves. When they get money, they spend it on other people and not themselves. I think once you realize that, and once you see that in your child, aka you or your actual child, you'd be like, hey, why don't you get something for yourself? Why don't you get something you want? Right? And that's one of the first steps, right? As I said in, I think, episode 1, my very first episode, I said to build up gradually, to have a foundation first, do the small things first, and then gradually build up, and keep building up. And if you go down, that's okay. I mean, we all go down at some point. But just keep building up, lay a foundation first. So if you're new to self-love and self-care, maybe at first you want to exercise 6 days a week, and you want to drink 3 liters of water every day, and you want to do a face mask every day. Guys, let's chill for a second and let's calm down. Start small. Start maybe only exercising 3 days a week, and maybe drink 2, maybe 1 liter of water every day, and start small. Don't immediately go into the big things, because you're either A, gonna get tired of it, B, you're gonna get burnt out, or C, you're gonna never want to do that again. And the worst possible thing is you do get burnt out and you don't want to do that again. And guys, we do not want to get burnt out. So, always start small. And then you can build up. Even for self-love or self-care, right? For self-care, you can exercise today. Congratulate yourself. Give that self-love to yourself. Be like, hey, I did 10 minutes of Pilates. Wow. I haven't done that in weeks. Good job. Hug yourself after, maybe dance around a bit, put on your favorite hype-up song. But do you see how that, kind of connects? You do an action for yourself, aka self-care. And then you reward yourself. You're showing that love to yourself after, which is self-love. And that's why I said at the beginning of this episode that they go hand in hand. They affect each other. And if they affect each other, it can either be your worst enemy or your best friend. So to recap, self-love, A, start small. You don't need to go to the bigger things yet. Step 2, there's types of self-love, which is mental, physical, and social health. That kind of connects in that way. There are those 3 types of self-love that you need to show to yourself, and you can work on those going on from the rest of your life, And step 3, I didn't talk about this much, but to praise and congratulate yourself, to give yourself that affection, to give yourself those affirmations in your head. Because soon they will go to your subconscious mind. And what I like really listening to is subliminals. I think I'm saying that right. If I'm not, comment down below how to actually say it, because I think I might be saying it wrong. But I listen to those every single night, right? And if you don't know what subliminals are, they are basically music. Sometimes they have music. The ones I listen to have music, but very, very quiet. You can't even hear the words that the person who wrote the subliminal are saying. So if you got a beauty subliminal, you would hear music, or maybe you would just hear them saying those affirmations to you. And it would go and it would register in your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. So right? As I said, if you were listening to a beauty subliminal, you would either hear the music and little whispers, So listening to a beauty subliminal, you would hear the music and some yes, I know it sounds weird, but you would hear that in the background because it's so quiet that you just hear those things, right? And if you're listening to another subliminal, you might just hear them saying, you are smart, you are intelligent, you are an academic, and it keeps giving you affirmations to your subconscious mind. And it's supposed to reach your subconscious mind. So I would really suggest those, because those help. And those help you see yourself in a different light. And there's even self-love subliminals, self-care subliminals. You just gotta search it up, okay? So anyways, this is the last entry 4, of how to actually apply this to your life, to your schedule. And as I said before, just start small. Start where you can start small, and start where you're kind of needed to start small, because if you're in college, right, you have more freedom than maybe a teenager listening to this, right? You can go get your car and go to the gym, right? Or you can get yourself a cup of coffee or matcha, or you can buy yourself flowers, As a teenager, or as someone who doesn't have that permission yet, it's limited. So start small and do what fits your schedule. I would say, is that how you most apply self-care and self-love? To actually stay consistent with your routine and with your schedule, make it as easy as possible. And the least time-consuming, the least amount of days, right? So maybe for a self-care routine, maybe you can exercise 15 minutes. And maybe you want to go to the gym, but you're going to have no motivation in the morning, because who has motivation in the morning? So what you could do is lay out your gym shoes, your gym outfit the night before. So then when you wake up, you look at it and you're reminded, hey, you're supposed to go to the gym. So then that kind of gets you out of bed to go do that. So make it as easy as possible. I think the whole basis of this 4 entry is just going to be starting small and making it as easy as possible for you to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and to keep going. With anything, right? You can even drink one more glass of water today, and you can hug yourself and be like, yay, we did it, we drink one more glass of water, that's more water for me, And then once you start laying that foundation, once you start that, you can keep rising, keep going up, and and raising the bar to a new intensity, maybe staying there for a while, then raise it again, and keep on doing that, right? And sometimes we keep raising the bar, we keep doing that, and then we either get stuck in a rut or a slump. So that's what my next podcast episode would probably be about. So to recap this whole podcast episode is we covered what the difference between self-love and self-care is. We learned about the topic self-care, we learned about the topic self-love, and how to actually apply these things to your life. And obviously, I am not God. I am just a teenager, and I don't know everything. So, if my advice did not help you as much, you should try searching it up and try getting more information. Because as I said, I'm a teenager and I'm young. So, yeah, I don't have life experience. I don't have much life experience, okay? Okay, well that's it. So, make sure you comment down below and subscribe and see how this episode helped you. Anyways, I'll see you in the next Self-Growth Diaries podcast episode. Bye.